There we go. Okay, I think we've started recording. Brace, if you want to go ahead and start. And if you also need to share, I just need to give you access. Hold on one second. Um,
I think Janet, Brace can just go ahead and share. Go ahead and try to share, Brace, see if you can. I
Will
believe
do.
you.
Yeah, I can share. Share that.
Yep. There we go. We can see your screen. Yep.
Good. But unfortunately, I can't control the screen anymore. I might have to. One sec. Might have to share a different screen. Not that. Sorry about that. Hmm. Well, hi everyone. I hope you can hear me first and foremost, but for some reason, I'm having trouble
Yeah, we can hear
controlling.
you.
Okay, good. Having trouble controlling the window that I'm trying to share to everybody. Let's try this one. Hopefully that works. Can everybody see the screen? The presentation?
Yes,
Very
we
good.
can see it. Yeah.
All right,
yes.
cool. So good morning, everybody. My name is Brace Helton. I'm the Assistant Director of Welding Education and the AWS Testing Facility at Ventura County Office of Education. We are located at the Career Education Center in Camarillo. We're just by the airport. I'll have the some contact information up in a sec. I figured people might be calling in on their phones or on a laptop. They can just screenshot a couple things to catch the basics of our program. Hopefully that helps. So first and foremost, here's some contact info up front. We have an office manager. She is awesome, Nicole Valentine. She runs our CEC programs. She would be the one to contact if you're interested in the welding program that I'm talking about today, or any other programs that we offer. We offer a whole list of things from dental tech, dental assistant, medical assistant, auto body, auto mechanic, advanced manufacturing, all sorts of stuff, and including welding, which I'll be talking about today. So Nicole Valentine, her information up top, my information, Brace Helton. There's my email and a website that has most of the information I'll talk about today. If you want to discuss welding certifications specifically, you can just give me a shout out. If you want to talk about joining the program, you can either reach out to me or Nicole Valentine. And then here's a couple QR codes for those of you on mobile devices. If you scan the top left, you'll get a high school course access. Top right, you'll be taken to our enrollment portal for adults, and then welding certifications down below. So it kind of makes sense to talk about career opportunities in welding. Being involved with the American Welding Society and involved in this program, the same stats keep coming up over and over. American Welding Society, they're basically the preeminent kind of code code and governing body for a lot of welding applications in the industry, and they estimate that by 2029 we're going to need about 320,000 jobs. That calculates out to about 80,000 per year. And they say down at the bottom there, why is the demand so high? It's because there's a current need. We currently are understaffed. There's expected industry growth with all sorts of, just construction in general, building new data centers, building new refineries, fixing the stuff that we have in the ground already. And then there's anticipated attrition. On average, a welder's retirement age is around 55, but also on average, I guess the average, I should say, welder in industry is around 52 to 53, I believe it was. So they're only a couple years from retirement. So with all that, you put all that together, you get a huge need. So if you're looking for an industry where there is a huge need and just growth, welding is definitely a good place to get started. And kind of speaking of growth, I thought this was a cool little track. It shows you some pathways you could take. If, let's say, you're coming out of high school and you're not really sure if you want to jump into a 4 year or even a community college, there are things you can do. You can come to a program like ours as an adult. You can even come to a program like ours as a high school student and get an early jump on it. I'll talk about that in a second. But there's apprenticeship tracks where you can get in with like a union, ironworkers union. We've worked with them quite a bit. A few of our students have gone to them. There's pipe fitter unions. You can get in with these unions, and they will teach you everything you need to know to be successful at with their organization and in their industry. They'll teach you everything. You'll go through their apprenticeship program. You'll get paid while you're doing it. You'll start out at a pretty good pay. I think iron workers, last I checked, were making about 26 to 27 bucks an hour to start. That's with no real prior experience. A few of our students that just came out of our program, they had an OSHA 10 card in hand and a welding certification that they earned here in hand, and they got jobs at around 26 to 27 bucks an hour. And then I think a couple of them have already gotten raises to over $30 an hour, and they're progressing with no college debt. And eventually, once they journey out, become a journey iron worker or pipe fitter, you can make well into the hundred thousands. So there's opportunity out there if you start early and kind of commit and work hard. Take opportunity or take advantage of the opportunities presented. Um, so here's some starting salaries. Welding fabricator around 46. That equates to about $23 an hour. We see some job openings at around $23 an hour for new hires. Pipe fitters around 55,000 a year. Iron workers around 52,000 a year, which makes sense. 52,000 is about $26 an hour at 2,000 hours a year. So none of those jobs include or require a degree. They just require some, foot in the door kind of experience, which you can gain it at our program or the Simi Valley Institute or Adult Institute that'll be talking later on today. For those of you that do want to expand, say you want to get in early, but you might have aspirations of going back to school, joining an associate's degree program or a bachelor's or post-baccalaureate program, there are tons of other options. You can be anything from an iron worker to a welding research scientist, material science. Basically, the 3D printing world has come into the structural steel world and pipe fitting world, basically the welding world, and it's creating an industry all of its own with applications in what's called additive manufacturing. So if you can run a 3D printer and run the programs to design the parts in 3D printing, there could easily be an application for that in welding in the industry, manufacturing industry. So there are tons of opportunities in welding and in the general industry at large. So here's some starting salaries. Welding inspector, you can expect to get around 73,000 per year as an entry level, but that is with experience. You can't become a welding inspector unless you already have some foot in the door kind of experience, roughly about 5 years experience in the welding industry. Then there's welding engineers, 84,000. I've seen plenty of postings that are more than that. Welding research scientists, 98,000. I've seen plenty that are more than that. You could see a dark blue spot on that welding research in Ohio, kind of Midwest. There's a lot of welding research with the Lincoln Institute, Lincoln Electric. So they employ a lot of people. But these little graphs, if you took some screenshots, it'll give you some information. I'll also show you the websites where you can go to get this information firsthand. Here they are. So the American Welding Society, they put out a couple sites, weldingworkforce.com and careersinwelding.com. Those are great resources. I can also share this presentation with the presenters today, and they can share it to whoever, or you can email me and I can send it to you. U.S. Navy Steelworkers, there's a lot of work out here in Ventura County. The naval base is our biggest employer, and they've got jobs on here for needing iron workers, welders, stuff like that. Union iron worker, that's just one of the examples of the unions you can get involved with if you pursue the welding path. All right, so specifically about our programs, I kind of batched it for simplicity into a couple different groups. We've got high school and adult intro to welding. Those are two very similar pathways, whether you're an adult or a high school student. Our introduction to welding is kind of get your foot in the door. It prepares you for entry level positions in manufacturing, fabrication, welding, things like that. You're going to learn some hands-on skills in oxyacetylene fuel cutting, basically torch cutting. I'll show you a little picture of that in a second. You'll learn some blueprint reading, some shop and fabrication math, and what's called shielded metal arc welding. It's stick welding. I'll show you a little picture of that. It might jog your memory if you've ever been around the welding world. But here's some information. The high school program, it's a year long, about 280 hours. And our 2026 program is full, but applications for 27 open March of 27. Our requirements, if you're going to go into the high school path, is that you're a junior or a senior in your respective high school. Seniors do get priority registration because it's their last chance to get into this program before they graduate out. So be early to apply, especially if you're a sophomore or a junior right now. Apply for next year. Well, I guess if you're going into your sophomore or junior year this upcoming school season. Those programs are 2:30 to 6:30. We do have bus routes depending on what school you are located at in the Ventura County. We have different bus routes for you. So you might be on a Monday, Wednesday track, or you might be on a Tuesday, Thursday track, depending on when the buses get to your school. But if you have a license and can drive to Camarillo for our airport, you can sign up for either one, but you can only sign up for one. What's included in that is an OSHA 10 safety training. I'll be leading that this upcoming semester. So you'll come out with a OSHA 10 safety card, which a lot of employers like to see. It basically shows that you've gone over the basics of accident prevention and awareness. So you're just safer on your job site, safer on your construction site when you get there. And you have the opportunity to test for up to 4 American Welding Society certifications. We are an accredited testing facility with American Welding Society, which means if you get certified here and you join the certified welding program that they offer, you can take your credential and literally move anywhere in the country, almost probably anywhere internationally. As long as somebody knows about the American Welding Society, they'll be able to recognize your certification. They give you a QR code that lists to a digital portfolio of you that shows all your certifications, everything. So it's portable credentials that are internationally recognized. Last year we had 29 certifications earned in our group of 30 high school students. That was pretty cool. For our adult intro, I'll kind of make it brief because it's very similar to the high school. We have 3 sessions. August is full. October's got limited space, and January 8th, 2026 or 27 applications will open up in the fall. That one we meet on Fridays from 8 to 4. Same thing. We'll cover OSHA 10 training, and you'll have the opportunity to test for 2 certifications per session. Those sessions are $1,500 per session. Half due at sign up. Once you pay that half, you lock in your spot, and then half due at week 9. So literally safety is first. As I mentioned, we go over OSHA 10 training. That is the first thing we'll do in each of those classes. For high schoolers, PPE is supplied for you. PPE stands for personal protective equipment. We'll provide the welding helmet. We'll provide the gloves, the jacket, everything. You just need to bring some jeans and boots. We'll give you the rest. Adults are responsible for their own PPE. We don't include the PPE into the cost because some people already have their own stuff. So we don't want to double charge you for it. We just lower the cost, but you provide your own PPE. Brief discussion about what is welding. It's basically using heat and pressure to join 2 metals. Or 2 materials. It can be done in plastics. It can be done in metal, like steels, aluminum, stainless steel, and it's got a wide variety of applications. There's probably not a product that you interact with on a daily basis that hasn't been welded or impacted by welding by some sort. Even your Cheerios that you eat in the morning was shipped to you on a truck that was welded together, that was probably made in a factory that was welded together. So welding is everywhere. You can't get away from it. So it's a good industry to be in. But this is, this what is welding slide is kind of something that we go over with our introduction students. It's just kind of a little sneak peek, I guess. So what you'll learn up there on the top left, that is the oxyacetylene torch. We will cover that and the safety required to operate that successfully and safely. We haven't had any accidents on the oxyacetylene torch. And then we'll cover stick welding or shielded metal arc welding and the basics of that. And then that little guy down there in the bottom left, that's just somebody doing some fabrication. We'll go over some fabrication basics so you can show up to a shop site and actually understand how to kind of, I don't know, understand how to operate in a shop or fabrication setting. We'll do a quick run through on our adult program, and then I'll show you the contact information again if you need to take a screenshot. But then we have an adult advanced program. This is tailored for experienced welders. This one is not instructor led in the same way that the intro class is. Their instructors are on site, but this one is for kind of self-driven, self-paced, experienced professionals that just need to either get more practice with a certain process, which we have all the four main welding processes, or if you just want to work toward a certification and need some booth time, this is a good opportunity for you. One semester is about 18 weeks. That's about 72 hours. We have 2 semesters starting in August 11th. That one does have openings still. January 5th is open as well, or we have some openings. It's 7 to 9 every Tuesday and Thursday. There are some holidays, but it's typically 7 to 9 every Tuesday and Thursday. It's booth time, no in-class instruction, but what that gives you access to is half off of our testing fees. We are, again, accredited testing facility. We do testing for people from general public, and they pay a full standard price. If you're an enrolled student in this program, you get 50% off of those testing fees, which can be a significant value if you're ready to test, because tests are about $400 to $500 a piece. So you could be saving $200 to $250 each time you test. That's $800 per semester, half due at sign up, half due by week 9, just like the other programs. And again, PPE, even though we don't teach safety in this class because you're supposed to be experienced or at least experienced professionals, you're responsible for your own PPE. We do have some loaner equipment, like some jackets that we've cleaned and sanitized, and some welding hoods that are cleaned for general use, but we don't guarantee you those items. So if you're hard up there or just forgot your boots or whatever, or forgot your jacket one day, we've got some stuff for you. But other than that, bring your own PPE and you can come in. In that program, you're able to weld in any of the 4 main processes. You can do shield metal arc welding, flux core, MIG welding, or gas metal arc welding, or gas tungsten arc welding, which is sometimes called TIG welding. Little screenshot there if anybody wanted to capture the basics of the 4 main welding processes. And here's some of those processes kind of live. The top left, that's stick welding or shielded metal arc welding. That gentleman's working on some pipelining. Top right, that person looks like they're doing some MIG welding in a fabrication setting, and that person in the bottom center is doing some TIG welding or gas tungsten arc welding. All those processes you can get experience in during our adult advanced program. That's it. I kind of wanted to make it a quick blast of information and a couple opportunities to screenshot some contact info to reach out. It'd be cool to see some of you in the shop. Take a screenshot and hit me up for more information, or reach out to Nicole Valentine if you need any more questions answered. But yeah, thank you for your time and attention. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Brace, for coming. Really appreciate it. And kicking off with a great new program. I'm really excited that we could be here. Okay, the
Yeah.
second half of our presentation today is Nicole from Simi Institute. So Nicole, I'll turn over to you and I will pull my screen up so you can share your information as well.
Thank you. And anyway, I'm so sorry I did not see the link and I came in late, so I'm
That's
very
okay.
glad that I'm second. So anyway, we have a lot of different programs. We also have machine shop classes, and we have welding classes as well. So it looks like that may be the focus, along with cosmetology. Is that where the interest is today?
It's open to all the programs you have. We're trying to share
Okay,
information to everybody. So I will start. Let me pull to the top here
okay.
for you.
You want me to start with medical where you're at
Sure.
now?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Okay,
there we go.
yeah, so we have semester programs that are short, like nurse assistant, medical assistant, We also have phlebotomy, which is even shorter than a semester class. And that's where you're learning how to draw blood. And we have larger programs like surgical technologist and respiratory therapy. And I see also ECG is on there, electrocardiogram technician, emergency medical technician. So those short programs, they may be something you want to be in, for example, like emergency medical technician, maybe what you want to do, forever. Or you may want to, add on paramedic class at a community college after doing EMT. Some people take our EMT because they want to go into law enforcement, they want to go into firefighting. So with our programs, usually it's 1 year or less, except for the two big medical programs that are 2 years long because you get an associate's degree. But all of our programs are fairly short, so you can get in the door, get the skills, and start your resume. Medical insurance billing is another one that we have. But with the two bigger ones, surgical technology and respiratory therapy,
Is that down here? There it is.
where you're going to be getting, a degree from Excelsior College in New York. We're partnered with them because we can't give degrees. So they give degree credit for our courses, and there's some classes that you would take with them. And so those programs have an application process. So on our website, on all of our programs, you can look at exactly, when to sign up, when to register, what the fees are, who to contact if you have questions. So any of the programs I talk about that you're interested in, if you go to our website, you can get more information. And especially with respiratory therapy and surgical technologists, there's a lot of details on there, like when the applications are due. There's an essay involved because we want to know that if we take a student in for one of those programs, that they're committed, that they know what the field is like, and they're going to stick to it, because the programs do move very quickly, so we can't just fill people as they drop. And each program, we take less than 18 students. So you're with the same cohort, the same group of students the whole time you're in the program. And there's the textbook classes, and then you're in the hospitals at the clinical site. And that's what you do the last few months of your program. So with respiratory therapy and surgical technology, working in the operating room, handing instruments to the surgeon, making sure the room is prepped, and making sure it's cleaned up after, and the next surgery, whatever instruments are needed for that surgery, that they're ready for the surgeon. So that job starts very early in the morning because surgeons like to do their surgeries early. So clinical hours are usually 6 in the morning till 1 o'clock p.m. or to 3 o'clock p.m. And then respiratory therapists, you're helping patients to breathe and using the machines for that, and learning how to use those. So they both pay very well. Surgical technologists start above $45,000 a year, and then respiratory therapists are around $70,000 a year. So they're very good salaried. And it's great to have that degree. But it does come with what a college degree would have, a lot of rigor. So some students will try our shorter programs first, like EMT, something like that, and see if they want to get into the field. And it is nice to work, like as an EMT, as you're doing a larger medical program. So you're in the field and you're learning, rather than like working a retail job and being in our surgical tech or respiratory therapy program. So with the medical, anybody have questions on that before I move on? Okay, so I'll move on next. Let's see, what are the next slides? Cosmetology.
I see.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, cosmetology.
Okay.
Okay, so our cosmetology programs, we have the full program, which is a licensed cosmetologist. And it's a 1,000-hour program, and you learn how to do hair care, skin care, and nail care. So you're licensed for all of it. So you may decide you like nails more, but down the road you want to do hair. You have that flexibility. Our esthetician course is only 600 hours, but you're able only to do the skin care. So sometimes people do cosmetologists because they want to do skin, but they also want to have more flexibility. And it's only 400 hours difference between the two programs. And then we also have a manicuring program, and that's only 400 hours. And we have a lot of young women, especially, who set up little salons in their house and they do nails from there. So you might start at a salon, get experience, and then be able to work from home. So a lot of these jobs, people want to be able to work from home, and that's why they're going into it. And then we have a short hairstylist course. And then we also have barbering, which you got to get your full cosmetology license for that. And then you're also learning how to shave and do the rest of the barbering. So that's another popular program. And our programs, because we don't have FAFSA, the federal financial aid, because it would increase tuition just to be able to manage that program and hire the staff for it, we break the programs that cost a lot of money, like cosmetology programs, respiratory therapy, surgical technology, into payments. So you know on the website before you sign up how the payments are broken down and when they're due. But because you're clients of the DOR, you won't have to pay. You can have your tuition covered by DOR. So if you want to go into any of our programs, then the counselor for that program, her name is Adrienne Linero, and her extension is 1618. And your DOR counselor will have her information, but you can also contact me as well. So we set that up for you, and we'll meet. We're happy to meet with you and give you information. And we also have tour dates for cosmetology if you want one of those programs in our cosmetology salon. And all of those tour dates are on our website. Okay, then that brings us to carpentry, which we had our first class finished last year, and the teacher was outstanding. And there's just so much work in that field, especially for people starting out. There's a lot you can do in carpentry. So, and then we're also working with unions and pre-apprenticeships. So there's a lot of job offers at the end of that time. So it's a 10-month program. And we have a few seats available for the class starting in August. So it's every August we'll take a new group of students, and you're with the same group for 10 months. And then you have your graduation, and usually, and then we have our job developer who will help you put your resume together. If you haven't already been offered a job, she'll help you to find a job. And that's for all of our programs. We have that service available. Also, resume assistance and interview skills practice. Okay, so that was carpentry.
This one's gonna have to
What's
turn
our
here.
next one?
Let me turn this one for
okay.
you.
Yeah, so
Here we go.
the machine shop program, that one's great because you can start anytime and there's no wait. And our teacher, I think he's the contact on there, or it's Colleen Trubia on our webpage, and both of them are super knowledgeable. But it is nice to meet with our teacher because he can kind of give you, scholarship information, because he does get money from Haas. They're very generous. And so if you're a student that's attending, actually, you guys don't even have to worry about a scholarship. Forget that. I mean, you could talk to him, or you could just sign up on our website, whatever, if you know you want to go into that career. But he is happy to meet with students. He's on campus every day, so Monday through Friday. And we can always connect you to his extension number. But with basic machine shop, it takes about 3 to 4 months to get through it. And you're learning blueprint reading and a lot of the basic machining skills to be able to get a job before you finish the more advanced classes in machine shop. And we have a lot of local employers that will hire you right away. So we have some of our machine shop students that have only been in class for about 4 or 5 months, and they're already hired. And then they come back at night and they finish up the rest of the CNC, learning more expensive machines, how to program them so that they can get more certifications and earn more money in machine technology. And then with our welding program, some of the welding students will sign up for machine shop first while they are on the waiting list for welding, because both of them have really great employer skills. And the welding waiting list right now is 12 to 14 months. So if you're thinking about welding, it's worth adding to the waiting list, because if you change your mind when you get the phone call that you're able to start, you can always say you're not interested anymore. So welding, there is a waiting list, and that app, if you want to get on the list, that's on our website. You just add your information to it. And there's a lot of different avenues to go into welding. If you want to do automotive, we have aerospace, construction trades, and you can go on campus, meet with the teacher, because just like our machine shop teacher, he's there 5 days a week. So he's happy to talk to you about the different careers and help you, pick a pathway that you want to take for welding. And let me think of anything else on those.
Any new upcoming ones you can share?
Yeah. We're trying to get an LVN program going. So we're looking to hire a teacher that can help with getting the curriculum going and get that written, because we used to have that years ago. And so we want to get that back because it's popular. So we're updating curriculum and looking to hire teachers. So hopefully that will be soon. And then we might do electrical, but that's, a ways away, because our priority was carpentry. And I think those are the only upcoming programs we're trying to get. And with Machine Shop, it's offered the hours for that class. You make your own schedule. So the classroom's open. It's an open lab. But the more you go, the better, so that you can get finished. And the teacher does look for students to be there. He expects you to be there every day if you're not working. If you have a job, he understands, but he gets so many employers that call for students. He wants to be able to say, this person comes, they're on time, their workstation is neat, they're dependable. So even though it is open entry, there is an expectation that you're here to accomplish and put in the hours. So that classroom's open Monday through Friday. And it's from 8 a.m. Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. But welding is open Monday through Friday. And there's a morning session, an afternoon session, and an evening session for welding. So you can pick the session time that you want that works with your job. Okay. I think that's it. Does anybody have questions on those programs? None.
Well, we'll be sharing it with other people too, so we
Sounds
appreciate you
great.
coming on. Thank you, Brace and
Absolutely.
Nicole, for both coming to our first info session this summer. Thank you all for attending today's session too. We hope you'll join us for the next ones. We still have 4 more. Next week will be on financial aid with Moore Park College financial aid director presenting on the different types of financial aid and answering questions for you as well. So thank you all for attending. We'll hopefully see you next week.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Grace.
Great
Thank you,
morning.
Nicole.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.